Jevonya, welcome to BroadBand.
Thank you so much, Denise. I am so excited to be here with you.
I'm really excited to learn a little bit more about you and all the things, all the Jevonya, all the time, okay? Because you are a busy lady and a very creative one. And you're like, you know, who I want to be as a businesswoman. You're just like, I just love it. You're just so creative and you're very on it. So kudos to
Thank
you.
you.
So to give our listeners and our viewers an idea, so what the heck are you talking about? What is your business and what's it called and what do you do?
Fantastic. So my company is called Twisted Networking. We are a business networking organization. We host fun, interactive networking events. Prior to COVID, in person, but now primarily virtual networking events for business professionals so that they can get out there and make some connections, meet new people, and spread the word about what they're working on.
How long has the business been going on?
I started my first event was in January of 2017. That was the first time I had a Twisted Networking event. So we are quickly approaching 4 years.
Holy moly.
Oh my goodness, that's exciting.
Congratulations. So
Thank you.
do you think you'll go back to in person at some point? Is that the goal or are you just loving the virtual?
So for me, being that I'm an introvert, virtual is so much easier for me. And having a business that can go worldwide, virtual is much better. But for our facilitators who like in person, I believe one day we will go back to in-person events. I'm a little nervous about the liability issue, but we'll figure it out when we get there. But I believe that virtual will stay forever as well.
I think so too. There are some pros and cons to it, but I think there's a lot more you can do with the
Mhm.
virtual space. So what motivated you? What was your aha moment for this business venture?
That's a great question. So I had started a network marketing company called Legal Shield in 2009. And so with network marketing, once you go through your friends and your family and your warm market, it's time to figure out how else you can get out there and help more people and who are your next clients going to be. So I started attending other networking events. They had some that were like early in the morning, some late at night, some you had to pay a membership fee, and a lot of them just did not fit with my lifestyle. I was a mom, I had 3 young children, and I just couldn't meet the commitments that they wanted. So I eventually started picking and choosing what I liked and what I didn't like from each of those events. And I just came up with my own event. And I initially thought that I was going to host events for other companies to help their staff or whatever. But then someone said, you could do this for yourself. And I'm like, wow, I could do this for myself. And he said, yeah, Jevonya, you can go and host your own networking events and start your own thing. And I took what he said and I ran with it. And in January of 2017, as I mentioned, I had my first event, and it's always been a way to promote my other business. But in September of that same year, I had to have foot surgery, and I did not want to cancel the meeting. And
Mm.
so I asked someone else to host the meeting for me. And that's when I realized that I had a duplicatable system. And so ever since then, I've been showing other people how to host their own events and still hosted mine. And
I love when that stuff happens, right? The universe gives you a little nudge and a little nudge, and then all of a sudden this brilliant thing falls in your lap.
yeah, I'm glad that I listened to the nudge, because a lot of people don't listen to the
Yeah.
nudge.
Yeah.
And listening to the nudge has allowed me to help so many people and just make new connections and meet great people like you. It's been really, really fun.
Well, right back at you. Full disclosure, my friends, I've been to several sessions and plan on being at least one Twisted Networking event every month. And I'm a big fan of it because I love it because it's not taking up all day.
Right.
And I came in when it went virtual. So the value of having it virtual, not having to get across town, having to
Mm-hmm.
find parking, have to
Mm-hmm.
pay for a meal or what have you. And yet I get all the benefits of meeting some incredible human being. So
Yes.
double thumbs up. Now
Thank you.
you kind of touch on a little bit, but I'd like for you to share with our listeners and viewers, why your thing is so cool. Like 3 things that make it extra special to other things that are similar in nature.
I think for me, one of the biggest things that makes it different is the size. I keep our groups very small and very intimate for a reason. I know a lot of people like to go to events where there's hundreds and there's a lot of people there, but I just don't think that that's the best use of networking time. So for our in-person events, the most you'll ever see is 16 people. And for our virtual, I try to keep it at 11 because I just like everybody to get a chance to talk and to really be heard versus just a 30-second commercial and that's it. The other thing I think that I like most about our events is the structure, because I've been to events where you just there on a screen or you just walk in a room and you have no clue what's going on. I've purposefully made it so there's no clicks happening because there's a lot of events where people are very cliquey and they know each other. So I keep it open so that there's always different people giving other people a chance. I also like the fact that it's affordable. You don't have to pay $700 to buy a seat and commit to something that you can't necessarily commit to. Our in-person events, you would buy a meal, you would get a meal and a networking event. Our virtual events, $12, you get to meet up to 12 new people. So it's $1 a lead, or so I just think it's more cost effective, great use of time, and just, I like the intimacy of our events as well.
And you kind of touched on this, and I don't want to lose sight of this. Is it like, I can buy into it and be one? Like, what is that? Is there, I'm not finding my words. What is that you offer?
So we have 2 aspects of Twisted Networking. You can come as an attendee and just pay your $12 and network and meet new people. But then I have what I call facilitators. And so the facilitators actually buy, for lack of a better word, a part of my franchise. Okay. So they'll purchase the system because I have a whole system laid out for how to run the event. And I help with your marketing because Twisted is a part of your marketing strategy. Okay. So they'll purchase that. And for our virtual events, because I know finances are tough right now, I decided to split ticket sales with the facilitator. Okay. So they actually make money on the event on top of getting the leads as well. For our in-person events, there's a slight upcharge on the meals, but that just covers really the monthly fee, because there is a monthly fee to be a part of the Twisted Networking system.
So we're going to do a little time travel. We're going to go back in time to your younger self. All right. And you bump into yourself. And what kind of advice would you give yourself planting the seed about being an entrepreneur, for being your own boss, for starting your own business? What would you share with your younger self?
Exactly, probably what I'm doing now, like really network and capitalize on relationships, spread out and meet as many people as you can. As I mentioned, being an introvert, I'm very introspective and quiet too. So I would also tell myself, you have to speak up and ask more questions and talk to more people and share a little bit more about yourself, because I'll keep a lot of things to myself, but I've learned that as an entrepreneur, being transparent and sharing actually helps your business grow. So those are a couple of things I would tell little Jevonya. Get out and network more. I've always been good with relationships, but understanding the power of them. I didn't understand how powerful they were until now. And just to speak up and share a little bit more and be open and just have some fun too.
I love that.
Have some fun.
So we're going to get back into the time machine, and now we're going to go to your future self.
Ooh,
and I don't know where you are, and you can name that, but you find your future self. What does your future self say to you?
Oh, my future self applauds me. My future self thanks me. My future self says, great job, Jevonya, for staying the course, regardless of what came, you stayed the course. Congratulations. That's what my
Right.
future self says. My future
Oh,
self says, I'm so proud of you.
mm, that's
Yeah,
good. That's good.
I like that.
Yeah. Who has influenced you professionally?
Ooh, professionally. So I am a reader. I like to read. I love reading books. So I would definitely say professionally, Robert Kiyosaki has been very instrumental in me growing professionally because reading his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, opened my eyes up to a whole lot of non-traditional business things that I had no clue existed. Um, my other big influence would definitely be John Maxwell. And even though I've never met these people, they have really, really influenced me big time. Learning about leadership and, getting validation on how to treat people has been absolutely amazing. My mom, my dad, they've always had the entrepreneurial spirit. And so that definitely was implanted in me early. And so I really appreciate that from them as well. And I have to add one other person really quickly, and she was my aunt. My aunt in Philadelphia, Bernadette, I remember when I was a little girl, they had what they called Take Your Daughter to Work Day.
Mm-hmm.
And so she took me to work with her.
Oh,
And so just getting that experience and seeing what it was to be in a professional setting and also understanding entrepreneurship, just the two of them together has really, really helped me professionally.
I've talked to several women, business women for this show, and I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure every one of them has mentioned family as being
Mm-hmm.
key in influencing them professionally, which is
Definitely.
so cool to hear that. Really cool.
Yeah.
So you're a busy lady. You do all kinds
Mhm.
of things besides this, little thing called twisted networking. How do you keep your momentum going? How do you stay excited about it? How do you take care of things and yourself? How do
Mhm.
you keep that momentum going?
So I am very disciplined. I am a very disciplined person. I have alarms for everything. I keep notes. I'm a writer. I plan my day the night before or the morning of. I try to just make sure that everything gets done. That's just a part of my nature. And I know that's one of my strengths.
Mhm.
I ascribe to excellence all the time. That's just in my mentality. So if it's not excellent, it's not okay for Jevonya. And so that just keeps me motivated because I'm also in competition with myself. I'm not in competition with anybody else. I'm just trying to be the best version of me. I am a spiritual person, so I pray, I meditate. I know that there's a higher being that I have to answer to as well. And everything that I do, I want it to be a reflection of that as well, that relationship that I have. Um, in business, it's not always fun. The momentum's not always there, but I've kind of like decided that this is what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to do this until, and there's no end to this. I just have to, because that's what my mind says that I'm going to do.
I
So I'm very strong minded. I read a lot. I study a lot. And I don't just read and study, I apply the things that I learn.
Yeah, yeah. As I'm listening to you, another question. I get it. I mean, it's very clear in our conversation right now, and the little bit of time I've spent to get to know you, I've seen it too. You're on it. You're dedicated. You're passionate. You're very confident. It all comes through. And I want to throw in another word that comes up when I talk to women, and I serve as a mentor through the Social Enterprise Greenhouse a program there, and I was just talking to a mentee that I'm working with, and we talked about this. When you hear this word, do you embrace it, or I'm going to say this phrase? I am an ambitious woman.
Mm,
What do you think about that when I say that? I mean, I was listening to you. I'm like, she's so ambitious. I love it.
it's
Yeah,
a
that's
beautiful word.
loaded. Pardon?
It's a beautiful word. I embrace it 100%. I am very ambitious. I've always had goals and I've always had dreams, and I like to check them off and just to make sure that I'm going somewhere in life. So I am very, very ambitious.
But would
And
you agree
it's
it gets a little loaded? It gets loaded though. It gets very
necessary.
loaded.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, it's a very loaded word.
It is. But we shouldn't shy away from it. It's a good thing to have ambition.
I agree.
Because if you don't have ambition, then what? What's the opposite? You know,
Yeah.
so it's a great word, and I think we definitely need to embrace it. And it's okay to have ambition. That's why you go to school. You have an ambition to graduate, to get a good job. There's nothing wrong with it. You start a business because you have ambition to not only help other people, but to help yourself. And it's okay. So I love it. I like that word.
All right. We're going to form a club, the Ambitious Gals Club. Okay.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay. So what kind of advice would you share with someone you were talking with them about, and they're like, whether it's I hate my job or not, or I've always had this dream, I'm 13, I want to do something with my life, and I'm thinking of starting my own business. I mean, like, what would you say, whether it's advice or words of encouragement or what have you?
That's a great question. So recently I finished my business consulting certification because I really want to help other people in that position to go for it. You have that dream. It's been planted in you for a reason. Don't shy away from it. No, it's not easy, but embrace it and run with it. Figure it out. Hire a coach, hire a mentor, get around people, do something to make it come true. Because if you're going to stay in a job that you hate, if you're going to just have this vision, this idea for no reason, and 5 years, you're going to just be miserable. It's still going to be there and you're still going to be miserable. And that's not living to me. You know, I am a firm believer that you have the opportunity to design your life. And if that is in your mind, if that's in your heart, that's a part of your life that you're supposed to design. And so run with it. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. I love that. That's another t-shirt. Let's go.
Go.
Right? Oh my gosh. What would you say surprised you the most about being a business owner?
What surprised me the most? I guess I really surprised me the most because I didn't realize that I had this in me. I didn't realize my power. I didn't realize my ambition. I didn't realize any of that. I played small for a long time out of nervousness, out of low self-esteem, out of a lot of issues, but I've surprised myself like, oh my God, you did this? Yeah, that was my biggest surprise. And the fact that, other people, once you put it out there and other people buy into your idea and, you really can touch a lot of lives by just bringing that idea to life.
And like you said earlier, when it's a gift, when this notion, the nudge, right? It is a gift, not just for you to bring it into the world, but to bring it into the world for other people to bear witness to your unique talents and gifts. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting because I don't think everybody gets that.
Meaning what? They don't get the nudge or they don't realize the nudge?
I don't think everybody even gets that seed planted in them.
Why do you think that is? I mean, what's your theory?
I don't know. I just don't think that everybody gets it. I just think some people are just different. I think that's why some people are entrepreneurs and some people are employees. I don't think everybody gets that seed planted. That's just not. Like, everybody can't be a basketball player. Everybody can't be an astronaut. I just think entrepreneur is just in certain people. That's our gift.
Oh, I get you now. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I think when those things are planted, when the nudges come, it's in your map, it's in your plan or whatever. I mean, I'm not going to get a nudge to be a ballerina.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what I mean.
Not my thing. Okay. Not that there's anything
That's
wrong
not
with
for
being
you.
a ballerina, but it's just not my thing.
That's not for Denise.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Um, do you have any resources you'd like to share with our listeners and viewers? Books? You mentioned a couple of authors, but podcasts, anything that you feel is like, oh my gosh, you've got to check this out.
So there were a couple of things that helped me on my journey. There's one on YouTube called Team Fearless Motivation, which I really liked because on those days where you're not feeling so good, you need to listen to something positive, and they just speak positive entrepreneurial language. It's a little hype too, because I like the hype. I like music and stuff like that. So sometimes it just speaks life into me to keep going. There's another one called Valuetainment. Early on, I was watching Valuetainment, and there's a lot of things for entrepreneurs on there as well. It's actually the #1 YouTube station for entrepreneurs. So there's small clips on there about mindset and money and all kind of different things. There's another one that I've been listening to called ALUX. It's on YouTube, and the subscription, it says where future billionaires come to get inspired. So I just like to listen, and they're quick vignettes, about 15 minutes, give you some tips. I think those are very, very helpful on YouTube. As I mentioned, I am a reader too, the John Maxwell Daily Reader. I've been reading that book for 10 years straight. It's one of those that you read one page a day, every day for the rest of your life. It's like, the leadership Bible. So I really like that one as well. That's very helpful. And I think one of my other favorite books that I liked was Feel the Fear and Do It Anyways.
Oh, yes, I read that.
I think that one was just the name in it itself is very powerful. You're going to be fearful. You're going to feel the pain. You're going to be nervous, but you still have to just do it anyways. Those are some of the things that I like.
That's the entrepreneurial nudge right there, right?
That's it. Just do it.
I have a question for you. How do you celebrate your wins?
Oh, how do I sell? Oh, that's a great question. And I've heard about that notion of celebrating wins. I just feel like I win every day, so I'd be celebrating every day. So I don't have any particular thing that I do.
Okay. But you recognize it every day. You're winning something.
I win something every day. Like, this is a win. I don't know how I would celebrate this, but being here and doing it 2 years ago, I wouldn't be here talking to you on a camera. I'd be too scared, or, it just wouldn't settle with me. So I think every day is a win. I smile. I enjoy the little things in life. And if it's something big, I guess I would probably plan a trip, and I love to travel. So, but yeah.
Excellent.
Every day's a win.
Well, I've been having so much time talking with you, learning even more about you, and I really appreciate you opening up your life as an introvert. That's a big win for you, sharing stuff like that. So I have one final question, and it's actually a series of questions in one question, but are you ready?
I am ready. Let's go.
What is your favorite flower?
My favorite flower would have to be a rose. A red rose. I like red. It's pretty. It's powerful. The color of power. I like red.
Coffee or tea?
Definitely tea, but I actually don't drink either. So, but it would be tea over the coffee.
Tahiti or Paris?
Ooh, Tahiti. I'm all for the islands. Let's go. I want to own an island one day.
And you know what? I think you might.
You think so?
I'm going to put that out there. And then I'm going to come visit you.
It's interesting. I've said this a few times, and every time I say it, other people say the same thing. So we might just have an island one day.
Are you an intention setter or a goal getter?
Ooh, I'm a goal getter. Intentions, you can have all kinds of intentions, but you don't do anything with them. I'm a goal getter. I got to get it.
Do you have a favorite quote you can share with us?
My favorite quote is my own personal quote. And it is networking is the number one key to success in this game called life. That is my quote by Jevonya Allen. Networking is the number one key to success in this game called life. It's all about your network.
Right on. This has been such a treat. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, the listeners, the viewers, to learn a little bit more about you. All the resources you mentioned, I'll have the links in the show notes. So don't worry, folks, if you didn't catch that, because there's a few that I'm going to go check out for sure. So thank you so much.
Oh my goodness, Denise, this has been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for inviting me on. And the work that you're doing is absolutely amazing as well. So thank you for what you do. You're touching a lot of lives, and I really appreciate you.
Thank you. And I appreciate you.
Thank you.